Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let's get crafting. Alright friends, so let's start here with this piece of wood I got at the hardware store. Look how dirty, uneven the cuts are. But we're not going to toss it. We are going to use it and make a beautiful farmhouse style decorative mirror. So the first thing is just to clean it, sand it off just a little bit, make sure that it is as smooth as possible. And then I got these 3 little mirrors from, I'm going to only use one, but it comes 3 in a packet from Amazon. And they're kind of plastic, so they're not like a real mirror, but they have a sticky back, which is awesome. And they have a liner in the front to protect it. So I marked where kind of what I thought the middle was. And I'm just going to start placing it right there. And then we're going to take some of the extra large painting stirring sticks. And we're going to use quite a bit of them. Well, not a huge amount, but enough to cover the entire thing. I did take it out to my miter saw and I cut off the little curvy area. And then I'm just going to start placing it, making sure that it overlaps about 1/2 inch outside of the rim because I want it to be as straight as possible. And you can see that the base board is actually quite wavy and not even. So I'm just going to start planking it and then moving my way. So the way I started here was to the sides and then I try to do the middle. I actually had to remove one of the sides and then work my way from one side to the other. But other than that, it was actually very easy. You just keep placing them and cutting as needed. Once I have everything where I wanted it, I am just going to fill in the little holes from all the brad nails that I placed in. I'm going to let it dry and then sand it very smooth so then I can start painting the mirror. So I am going to leave the little film, protective film that the mirror has, because that way we can paint and we can do all the things we need to do, then remove the protective film and it'll be nice and new. So once I had it sanded, I'm just going to now paint. I'm going to use 2 paints. I'm going to use Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white, and I'm going to use Waverly chalk paint in the ink, because we're going to create a lot of texture on these planks. We're going to do a pretty heavy first coat of white. Then we're going to start applying some black just randomly. I mean, just here and there, and it kind of looks like we're making a mess, but I promise you it all starts taking shape. Once I continue to apply the black, then I'm just going to let it dry. And then I'm going to start applying more white, but after I sand it down. So we're going to sand down the black just a little bit to mute it down a little bit. And then we're going to start applying more white. The key with the so the 3rd coat, but the 2nd coat of white, this one we're adding now, is to kind of be a little bit on the dry brush side. So not too much pink, because we don't want to cover the whole black. We also want it to look a little bit more muted. So we're going to start brushing until I like what I see. And once the paint has like a tacky texture, so it's not fully dry, but it's not wet, I'm going to start doing opposite direction strokes. And you can see here what I'm doing. So you can see the black through, but then look at all that texture right there. That's what I want to see on this mirror. So I'm just going to start doing that all around the mirror. And then we're going to remove the film, and look how satisfying that is. Excuse the messy hair in the mirror. But anyways, then after everything was dry, we're going to add some of these hooks. I just thought it would be very appropriate and very cool looking to have 3 hooks. I have these hooks all the time on hand. These are from Amazon. They're very inexpensive and they're so versatile. I love, love, love having them. So I'm just going to place 3 of them on the bottom. And then I did add a couple of sawtooth hooks to the back so that we can hang the mirror. And that's it, guys. This mirror turned out so beautiful. In the pictures, you really can't see that texture, but you did see a close-up that I showed you earlier, and it's just stunning. It's so heavy duty, and it only cost, let's see, the board was 25 cents at the scrap wood area, and then whatever the painter sticks cost, which is not much, and then the hooks. That's it, guys. Just beautiful. All right, my friends, we are on round 4. This is the final round of Heidi Sambel's Creative Champion Contest. It is down to just me and Sammy from Unicorn Dust Designs. We both created 3 projects and submitted them for Heidi's championship video. Here's the first one I submitted. Again, we're going with a farmhouse style look. This was made using scrap boards from a palette that I used on my first project for the competition. Then I created this little farmhouse style decorative window with a wreath and a little galvanized rooster. I think it's so cute, and it's actually pretty large. And the third project I submitted was this beautiful outdoor hanging basket, kind of like house number decor for outdoors. And I just love the way it turned out. This is how all 3 of them look together. At the end of this video, I'm going to have the next video in the hop to go check out down below, and then make sure to then vote on your favorite, and it's going to be between me and Sammy, so vote for your favorite, and of course I would appreciate if you voted for me. All right, for this next DIY, I'm going to take another one of those leftover pallet boards. Now this one's in pretty rough shape, so you can see there that it's cracked and it just needs a little bit of help. And then this spindle that I got off of a table that I broke down. So what I'm going to do to tighten things out on the board is I'm going to take some of these smaller painter sticks, and I cut them to smaller pieces, and I'm just going to staple them on the back, and that way it'll secure that crack, and it's just not going to keep getting wider and loose on me. I did cut off some of those little pieces that were sticking up on the spindle, and then I marked on the board where the spindle was going to fall. I'm going to create kind of like a wall sconce to hang a wreath from. So I'm going to pre-drill a hole on the board as well as on the spindle, and then I'm going to drill a screw, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side so that the spindle is nicely secure on the board. Now I'm going to give everything 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. And once it was dry, I am going to distress it and give it a farmhouse style look. Now I'm going to take this hook, which I honestly don't know where it came from. I know it came from somewhere, and I kept it. I did tighten one of the back, in the back, just so that I can hook it onto this screw here that I am placing on the spindle. Then I'm going to work on this wreath that I got at the Target dollar spot. This is a beautiful leafy summery wreath. It was $3. But it was a little bit bare, so I am going to just twist some of these little white flowers from the Dollar Tree just to give it a little bit more fullness, and then that's what we're going to hang from the hook. I added a saw hook to the back, and that's it. Look how beautiful this turned out. This is literally a trash to treasure. This board was cracked. The spindle was just left over from an old table, and look how beautiful this would look anywhere in a farmhouse style decor home. Love it. For For this next DIY, we are going to take this piece of board. Again, it's from the hardware store. Guys, I'm always looking at the hardware store scrap area. I get really lucky and I found really good pieces. They're only 25 cents each, no matter the size. And you're going to be surprised with one DIY that you're going to see here. So this piece is super long and I kept it just the way it was. I gave it 2 coats of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. And then I drew a vertical line, vertical line across the board. And then I'm going to take, and I'm just going to freehand an arrow here. This is going to be a very simple DIY. I saw something similar on Pinterest and I got inspired and I was like, oh, I can use that board for this. So I'm going to take Waverly chalk paint and the ink and I'm going to just, again, freehand an arrow. And that's about it. Such an easy DIY. I want the arrow to actually look like it's been hand painted. That's why I'm not too concerned with it being straight or not, because I could have used my Cricut and made it look, almost perfect. But I really wanted this to have like a hand painted look and feel.
To what used to be home, passing by those little towns I know so well, stopping for gas and then I'm behind the wheel again, driving this like a spiritual cleanse where every mile is a new beginning.
To finish it off, I am going to take a makeup sponge and some more of that ink Waverly chalk paint. I'm just going to distress the sides, just the edges a little bit, and that's it. I didn't even have a hook to the bag because it's tall enough where it can just be placed on a corner in a home on the floor and it'd be perfect. So I really love the way this arrow looked and it's just so simple and yet so unique. I love it. My friends, if you are visiting for the first time or if you're visiting from the hop, my name is Leonette and my channel is dedicated to all things DIY. DIY home decor, thrift door flips, furniture painting. I love DIYing and I love for you to join our YouTube family. And I also have an Instagram page where I post daily, multiple times a day, behind the scenes look, hauls of different thrift shops that I have done, as well as the hardware store here. See, right here is where I find the wood that I'm talking to you about. So I hope you can connect there with me as well. For this next DIY, I am going to take this leftover door trim that we had here in our garage and I am going to cut it into tons of little pieces. These are about 4 inches. I did mark on my miter saw so that way I can just cut and place, and I did not have to measure each one individually. Once I had all the pieces cut, which is going to be exactly 16 pieces, we're then going to make a very versatile piece of decor. I'm actually really proud of this one. We're going to start by just making little squares. So we are going to take them and just start building little tiny squares using my brad nailer. Once I had these squares done, then we are going to give it one coat of Rust-Oleum chalk paint in the linen white. Only one because they were already mostly white anyways, so only one coat was necessary.
I wanna get to your clothes, gotta get it right now. I wanna push all the limits with you right now. So watch your feelings, the city's screaming, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in the world, gotta get it right now. People talk and tell what you wanna hear now, but they all disappear, they will let you down. So we better stick together, let's come whatever, we're not coming home tonight. We're living quick in the world, gotta get it right now.
Once the paint was dry, I am going to again grab one of those makeup sponges and just start distressing the edges. Now, if you can tell, I'm doing it pretty heavy, and this is exactly what I want because they're going to be stackable. So I want to make sure that you're able to see that distress line, that dark line right there in the corner. So I did that to all of them and let it dry. And I'm going to show you several slides here because I want to just for you to see how versatile this is. So here I have them stacked so to look like a vase. And here's just more of a side view. And then you can always, because I didn't attach them to each other, like each box, then you can actually put them in any position you want. You can put them all apart, you can separate them, you can do whatever you want. So I thought I'd show you different ways that I kind of staged it here for you guys. And I just love the way this DIY turned out. All right, don't forget that this month's giveaway is this beautiful, super adorable pink cordless drill with multi-bit set. And all you have to do to enter is watch and comment. Any comments made in May of 2021 will be entered for this giveaway. All right, so I want to show you a little bit of the behind the scenes here. This is my messy garage. But when I tell you I have a garage filled with scrap wood, this is it. This is where I grab my wood from, guys. So today, this next DIY, I am going to take this one right here, that big, large one. I'm going to drag it out of the garage, and it is pretty heavy duty. Now, this piece, believe it or not, was 25 cents. I kid you not. It was in the scrap wood area. And again, because it could be any size, whatever size, it could be small or big, they're 25 cents, at least in the hardware store that I go to. Anywho, moving along. I got these 1x2s at the hardware store. Now, these were I purchased. And then this is what I'm going to trim the big board with. So I marked and cut the longer sides first. So now here I am going to mark where I need to cut for the smaller sides of the sign. Then I'm going to attach the trim using my brad nail gun. This is going to be a sign that I'm actually going to keep, and I am going to place above my bed in my bedroom for me and my husband. So again, we're just going to trim out this piece of board using the brad nails. Now that I have everything trimmed, I am going to give everything 2 coats of regular household exterior white paint. This is just because it's what I had on hand. And I did brush it, oh God, because I didn't want to use a roller. That's the truth. I didn't want to take out the roller and get a roller dirty. So I just used one of these larger brushes, but it took me quite a bit. And I just gave it 2 coats. Once it was dry, I am still outside, and I'm going to now use a faux plank look using a permanent marker. And I'm just measuring with my yardstick and drawing the line so that way it has more of a planked look. And then using my Cricut, I cut out the phrase, "Give it to God and go to sleep." I saw this on Pinterest on someone's wall, and I thought, how beautiful. I love it, and I so need to apply this so many nights for my own self. So I am going to do that. So I started placing them here, and it was kind of windy, so it took me a while. So I'm just going to speed it up for you and show you how I attached it. Nothing major. It's just basically making sure that it's as even as possible. And that's it. Again, it was kind of simple, but it took me a while because it's such a large piece. I believe it's 55 inches wide and then 28 inches tall, which is a pretty big sign. And I really love the way it turned out. I love the simplicity of it, and I can't wait to put it on my wall. Now, for the pictures here, I didn't put it in my bedroom yet because honestly, I just didn't have the time yet, but I will post pictures on Instagram for you guys to see it. But here's how it looks. I love it, love it, love it. So simple, bright, and airy, and I just love that look. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're coming from the hop, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. And if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Have a blessed day, guys. Don't forget to go down into the description box check out the next person in the hop and vote, vote, vote. Don't forget to vote for me, please. I'll see you again later, guys. Bye.